Hi there, welcome to my YouTube channel or my Facebook page. Mickey, you don't play pentatonic ever? No, rarely. How do I get away from pentatonic scales? Great question. Are you ready? Here's a lesson in theory and some exercises too. So, great question. First, let's take any 4/4 song. Count 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to count in 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 3 times 4 is 12. Well, there's 12 notes in the chromatic scale. Chromatic meaning all notes. That's actually 24, but we have 12 notes. So therefore, we could literally hit an E chord and go 1, 2, 3, 4. And we could play 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and play straight chromatic, and we would never be out of key because all of the notes pertain to E. All of the notes are relevant to every key. There's no such thing as a wrong note. There really is not. Any note along the scale path can be utilized in a solo as long as it's used either as a part of a chord structure for a consonant sound or outside of the chord structure for dissonant sound. And both are just as usable in music. Let me explain just a little further. The difference in dissonant and consonant sound. This is a G major. This is the major third tone in G. It's B. It's not B flat. Rock and roll was literally based on that minor third slur, like Johnny B. Good, over a major chord, which is dissonance, okay? This is consonant, even though technically the major third interval is imperfect. So it vibrates even though it's in tune mathematically. The major third is an imperfect interval, so, okay? So we can literally play triplets and chromatic and never get out of key. Now, with that in mind, let's play some triplet boxes over a G major chord, okay, by doing this. We're going to walk up to each one of the notes in the chord from a whole step behind. So we would have to F to G, and then C to D, F to G again, A to B, C to D, and F to G. And we would have... Now, if we add these triplets to our... already getting away from just this, okay? We have a long way to go, but okay. Now, the next thing I want to show you about playing in the major key would be this. If you play this G chord, the first real note in the triad would actually be back here, would be the B note, right? Here's the octave, right? There's our major third. Well, here's another major third down here. So technically, we could play... and we'd still have the same pattern in time, in key, in triplets. This would be F to G, and then A to B, right? Well, then we just move another half step. Now we're going to be C to D. So we've got all half steps from here. Okay? All of these totally usable. So now you see how much tighter things are from here. Let's talk about a couple other chord forms. How about this one? This is basically a C major, right? Same thing. Up here. It's simple, pentatonic. Now, let's talk about arpeggios. An arpeggio is a wide interval. These are close intervals, half steps, whole steps. Okay, but what about jumps from root major third or root minor third 5? This would be major, this would be minor thirds. Okay, so now what I want to show you is a pattern where we're going to actually play each note in the scale. This is called a diatonic chord path, okay? And we're going to do it in G. So it would look like this. G, B, D. The next triad is for A minor, and it would be A, C, E. Then B minor. This is B, D, F sharp, okay? Then C, this would be C, E, G, D. Okay, this would be D, F sharp, and A. And then E minor, that's E, G, and B. This would be the diminished triad, the seventh, always diminished. And this would be F sharp, A, C. Now we have, see where we're going? We're actually playing Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do. So it's a major scale all the way up and down. Now, let's go back to talking about the dissonance in the minor third and using a minor third slur in our patterns. Because technically we can play minor all day long over the major chord and have it sound rock and roll-y, okay? We need to be able to stretch more than 4 frets also. So here's the first arpeggio for major, okay? And this is going to be root 3, 5, 7, flat 7, 9. This would actually be 11, but this is a major third. So we'll keep it simple. Root 3, 5, 7, flat 7, 9, 11, and major third. Now look at the pentatonic and how it differs. So when we take a look at this scale pattern, it's actually closer to a C major. It's a C major scale, but we're in the key of G. So what we wind up with is this flatted seventh in G, which is F. And these two notes are the most used notes in rock and roll, basically. We're playing a major chord. A lot of times it's going to have a dominant seventh and it's going to have a slurred third in it. That's just what rock and roll is. Let's look at this pattern here at position number 5 with our index finger. Our middle finger here on B flat, this is the the minor third in G. And form a B flat major 7. That's where the arpeggio is. So this is G minor, basically. They're relative minors. Now, if we start applying this whole step from behind, except for the minor third, there's the major third, there's the minor third, major third. There's where they fall. The rhythmic structure is just as important as the melodic structure, of course, because that's where a lot of the emotion comes in. You can do this with any one of your chord forms, okay? So there's one other thing I want to relay to you before I let you go, and that's the importance of all of the notes between the root and the fifth, okay? And in G, it's between here and here, because the flatted fifth is one of the greatest things in the world to use in a solo. Diminished fifth. So we find it here just outside the pentatonic. It's actually on the pinky finger here. That's the fifth tone, right? Diminished fifth. That's major, that's minor. So that's it. So I hope that opens some doors for you guys. Thanks for tuning in here to my YouTube channel. Y'all take care.